Hello, welcome back to chapter 10 of Dead Effect. Haven't done this for a while. Okay.
Anything hurt?
Bastard, I'm gonna kill you!
Oh, what's his name again? Wayne. That's right. Oh, what was... Oh. Oh, yeah, stuck in there. Right, time this. I've run out of bullets apparently. Okay, that's good. Anyone else coming? Okay, done. Alright. Straight into the action. So last time we learned that Balak is delusional. That well, basically all the doctors are delusional. They believe that we're on a space station and that they've been commissioned to create zombie soldiers, sort of thing. And yeah, I don't know. It's a bit weird. George Geller. Who's George Geller? I don't think we know who that is yet. Engineering facility. Okay, so he must be part of engineering. The production of light ground scouting drones began according to plan. The new software improved remote control and other communicative functions. We're waiting for the control interface so we can begin the production of ground scouting drones. So that just confirms that the which is kind of funny because they were saying that they have to convince the soldiers that they're trying to test in real life combat scenarios, and that a story needs to be made up. So, on that basis, but from what I can understand from the wiki side of things, we're definitely, it is a delusion on Heinrich Wagner's, oh great. I wonder if I can just have that. No. That was worth a shot. I wonder if it counts. That's saving up bullets. Well, that worked out. Okay, there's a secret there. Saw an iPad before. From the captain. Okay, so Balik reported a problem with the regulation of humidity in greenhouse 34. This is the third time I've ever been informed about this problem. I don't understand why you can't handle it without bothering me. He did this to the chief engineer. So, where it doesn't really take much to make people delusional either. Like, I've been a nurse. I've seen quite a few things. It doesn't have to be drugs. Some worrying, old age, stress. Anything can cause delusions to the fact of, people really convince themselves bizarre things. I came across a guy who believed he was the prophet Melchizedek and he could walk through walls, and of course that wasn't the case, and he just gave himself a nasty bump in the head. But it's strange what people can really convince themselves in. Why is there so? Jeez, why is it? It's a bit cold in here. Sir, so this is the engineer's reply. Sir, the hydrometer in greenhouse 34 has been fixed already. I've already fixed a similar problem in 5 different greenhouses. Either the installed hydrometers are faulty or Balik is overdoing it with his weather experiments. Let me know if another problem appears. I'll be happy to fix it. Okay. So, and we don't know much about this, this doctor. If you go into the files of, after you collect all these things, these orbs, you get pictures in game and little paragraphs, and the paragraph basically says that Wagner, not much is known about him, but that he used to love experimenting on little insects, which kind of reveals a sociopath, something that doesn't mind hurting other things for enjoyment, for curiosity. And actually, I might just. Remember how long this takes? I have this funny feeling I'm going to be needing it. Yeah,
I'm gonna get you.
it's like the developer is really trying to tell us he is a nutcase. Might just go on this one. Clear a bit of area there. Okay, we cleared a little bit of area. Oh, that's good. Oh, as long as it's got in it. I seem to have. Oh, not now. So you only got that one to go. Come up behind him. Let's see how intelligent he is. Yep. Whoa. No. Aye, you mongrel. At least I got a bit of health. We're playing this on the hardest difficulty. Usually, as I said many times, 2 hits and you're dead. What's going on with that? It's not even on there. That's not even on. That's a little bit of a mistake there. That's not even on the pylon at all. That's a bit weird. Okay. What? Oh, really? Said come off in his hand. Jeez, he's really had better days. Okay, Donald Flender. Who's that? Who's Donald Flender? Oh, he's the guy of the cargo bay, I think. James, the science team keeps requesting the materials from warehouse CB27, so he's now referred it to the captain. Wagner claims they desperately need those materials for one of their experiments, but they're meant to be used after we land on Tau Ceti. So as we said, this gas, if you want to, this chemical, this CB27, sort of generates life. It sort of helps encourage it, does something. So that's why, of course, the doctor wants to use it for the dead effect. But it was used to bring life back to a inhospitable world. What you're asking is impossible. I cannot allow it. It could endanger the goal of our expedition. Forget it and resume your work on technologies meant to help colonize Tau Ceti F. So he's telling the doctor straight out. So again, we can sort of see that the developer is heading towards the fact that Tau Ceti F is the reality. This illusion of needing to create super soldiers, super dead soldiers, is just a delusional thing that Wagner has concocted up somehow for some reason. Just trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, that's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. I'm not actually sure where it's supposed to go. And that gas is constantly of a... That's the gas. For some reason it's... And I believe it's used to control the zombies, so... I'm feeling like that gas is like a catnip for the zombies. That's how the doctor's getting them to go from room to room. Yeah, alright. Oh, here's one. Why can't I operate that one? Your time has come. Take care of the motors or I will take care of you. Whoa. Okay, what's this? So this is the Wayne telling, well, basically threatening the second in charge if you don't. So this is their plan. This was an orchestrated plan. Maybe to get the captain, because they knew the captain's personality. They knew the captain would sacrifice himself. They blew up the motor so that it could only be fixed on the outside. They came up with this idea, which kind of shows how delusional both Heinrich Wagner was and Duper for allowing this situation where he could get where he could get the whole, everything into jeopardy. Have I been in there? How do you get up there? Just preparing again.
This is the end. Goodbye.
Unpermitted deactivation of automatic shooters.
Oh.
Third level of danger.
Oh. sure what I... Well, that was bizarre. Was I supposed to do that? Those guns are pretty useless, aren't they? Like, in all, oh, hello. In all honesty. From the second charge, Mike, please come to my cabin. I need your help with something. So, evidently, now there's two things here. Well, either he succumbed to the threats, but I don't think he did. I think Duper realized from this threat what was going on, and so took control of the matter, because remember that Wagner did not have the key code to the door, so Duper had in turn double crossed him. So we have a mutiny on a mutiny on a mutiny here, which is a very fascinating concept. I like it when things like get like that. Can't really find anything else. Oh, here's another one. Second in charge again to the captain. Sir, we can't continue the fast and light flight. One of the fast and light motors have been damaged. Tell Mike to go to the propulsion core and take a look at it. So that part went according to plan, which we haven't really come across the second charge yet. I'm not sure if it'll come across here. We haven't come across Duper, have we? Oh, there's one there. Look at that. Really missed that one. They're all over the place, aren't they? Heinrich Werner. Captain, it seems we have found a means of protection against radiation. A substance with a working name of DFX should provide protection once applied. It also increases the physical capabilities of subjects. We are halfway done with its testing, but we will require more test subjects to confirm our assumptions. So he's put that request in. I can't see the captain actually agreeing to that now. Wow, that was close. I didn't realize that door had locked me on me. I nearly died then. My death day aren't over. Wow. I think you can simmer down. Gives up. Oh, why is that thing not a zombie? Still don't have the answer to that question yet. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Oh, there's... No, I thought it was an iPad. No, nothing there. Oh, here's an iPad. From the captain, Doctor, I'm not feeling well. Could you send someone to take a look at me? This is to Bielik, so evidently. And I think they... Did they, I think they gave him a second dose, didn't they? Because his was a little bit different to everyone else, hence why. But he was the first one to go that way, and then they changed it. So... Oh, hello. Oh, look at them all. Hopefully no grenades. Is that a grenade? Yeah, that's a grenade. Let's go T. Hammer, really? Got him. Oh, it's another grenade.
Incredible. You are a tough one, but you will not get any fire.
I was actually pretty impressed with that, wasn't I? Shit. Long distance, wow. Alright. Oh, here's another one. Second charge, attention, officers of the ESS Meridian. Captain James Phillip was injured during a routine maintenance on the motors in the propulsion core. Due to his injury, it is my duty as the first mate to take on the role of captain of the ESS Meridian. So this part happened so far in connection with Bielik and Wagner, but at some point they sort of double-crossed each other, and I'm guessing one didn't turn out too good. Oh, hello. From the second charge, you want to rebuild half of the ship into a combat simulator. How can you make sure that those zombies won't escape to other parts of the ship? Philip would never allow this, but deliver the plans to me and I'll handle it somehow. So that's interesting. So evidently again It seems very unlikely that this is real, this combat simulator, but for some reason Duper agreed to it, which means that Duper really had his own agenda. And that's all the secrets. Well, join me next time for chapter 11. Until then, bye for now.